JRTV welcomes you to another NASCAR Winston Cup Series 2000 race. This is race number 9 on the 2000 schedule. We're going short track racing at the Martinsville Speedway in Martinsville, Virginia. I'm Joe Rakowski here to bring you live flag-to-flag coverage of the Goody's Body Pain 500. Once again, race number 9 of the season. The points battle is tightened up after the last race in Atlanta, and it sees Keegan Thompson still on top, but it has narrowed down between he, Trey Bardo, Justin Seidel, and Chris Jericho, the front four, within 50 points of each other for the points lead. We'll see how it goes here in Martinsville as two of them start inside the top 5. The other two start 18th or worse in this race. It's going to definitely mix around the running order. The biggest storyline after qualifying, though, is the man on pole. It's Jose Mills for single car organization Matei Motorsports, putting that single car team on pole. He comes in 30th in points entering this race and could definitely be a factor for the win here today in Martinsville. What can Mills do with this single car team? Can he try and drag that thing to a checkered flag, a victory here at Martinsville? We're going to find out over the course of 100 laps here at the Martinsville Speedway. It is an interesting day for sure in terms of weather here at Martinsville. Clear skies, 70-degree weather, but there is a strong wind, 9 miles an hour of wind here at Martinsville, so these drivers are going to have a lot of wind affecting their cars over this half-mile racetrack, and for sure definitely going to be an issue all throughout the day here at the Martinsville Speedway. Obviously not much chance of rain as well here at Martinsville. We'll be good to go for all 100 laps here in the Goody's Body Pain 500. Another single car organization starts in third. That's Jacob Boyd. Watch for him throughout the race, and watch for the powerhouse teams like Joe Gibbs Racing and Hendrick Motorsports. Roush Racing, what can they do with their cars? Roush Racing put 4 of their cars inside the top 13 with their highest starters, Keyshawn Richardson, in 6th. He practiced in 2nd place, and the man who was fastest in practice, Eli Bright, nowhere to be seen in qualifying, outside the top 35 for his qualifying pace. So we'll see what Eli can do throughout this race, if he can try and make his way up further through the field, and see if he can possibly try and break the top 20, as qualifying means oh so much here at Martinsville. Our points leader, Keegan Thompson, starts back in the 26th position. His nearest competitor in points, Trey Bardo, starts in 18th. Not bad, not good, very bad for the top 2 in the points, as they both start on the outside lane. Thompson outside the top 25, and Bardo is just inside the top 20. Not so good for them. Meanwhile, their rivals in the points, Seidel starts in 4th, Jericho starts in 5th. What can those two do to try and gain their 3rd and 4th in points entering this race? But they can definitely close in because of this one. 3 drivers failed post-qualifying inspection. They'll start at the rear of the field. However, they were all starting outside the top 30 anyway. It was Sergio Aguito who starts in 40th. In 41st is Nolan Lawrence, and in 42nd, Ryan Wilson. All 3 of those cars failed inspection. However, all 3 were starting pretty poorly anyway. They didn't lose too much in terms of failing inspection. Some history, some facts about this track. Obviously, the Martinsville Speedway located in Martinsville, Virginia. Banking here, it doesn't seem like it. There's 12 degrees of banking in the corner. The drivers will tell you it feels like it's a lot less. No banking in the straightaways here at Martinsville. Track obviously first race in 1981, but it opened way before. That's one of the oldest tracks that we go to on the schedule. The previous 5 winners here, Roland Emmerich won here back in 1995. Dean Bandit, 2 straight seasons of wins in the spring race at Martinsville. Kevin Bandit did it 2 seasons ago, and Trey Rainey did it last season in the 18. Jericho starts 5th in the 18. What can he do to try and relive that memory Trey Rainey has here at Martinsville last season? You look at the race here, it's obviously 0.526 miles in length, a 100-lap race here today at Martinsville. The fuel window about 60 to 70 laps, so that is a long range because of how short the track is. So they can go anywhere from 60 upwards to about 70 laps. They'll be pitting anywhere from 30 to 40 laps to go in this race. We'll see how that strategy impacts throughout this race. We're getting down towards the green flag time here at the Martinsville Speedway for the Goody's Body Pain 500. Before we get to the green flag, though, let's get the command of fire engines up for 100 laps at Martinsville. There rolls off the 42 cars, and before we know it, will be green flag racing here at the Martinsville Speedway as the field paces off turn 2 already. Watch for Matt as Wells in second. Comes in 19th in points while his teammate battles for the points lead. What can Wells do to try and turn his season around? Look for the man starting in third. Jacob Boyd was top 10 points before last race, dropped 11 spots in points down to 17th. We'll see if he can try and get the victory for Wood Brothers Racing at Martinsville. But it's Matei Motorsports' Jose Mills on pole for this race. Pace car is in the 7, the 20 to lead the field to the green flag. They come off 4. The green flag is in the air. We're racing at Martinsville. Alright, some beating and banging through the pack, and they come off 4 for the first time. It is Jose Mills from Matei Motorsports leading the first lap of this race. You have Jacob Boyd going for second in the 21. Matt as well as the 20 still up top. Jericho gets put up top by Nathan Stapleton, as now Stapleton moves for fourth. His teammate Burnett right behind him, as Boyd now for second on Wells, as Mills still leads this race to turns 3 and 4. Boyd will get to second. Wells might be able to get in line in third. Stapleton will clear for fourth, it looks like, through 1 and 2. And Jericho looks to have a fight in the outside, but he has to get down quickly. Otherwise, Burnett will fill a little to the inside, and does. Conrad Evans come through the field nicely in the 31. He's making some nice progress as Jericho tries to get down in front of Burnett. As Stapleton looks on Mathis Wells, Burnett gets underneath Chris Jericho, and that might bring Justin Seidel to Jericho's inside as well. Stapleton to P3 for Roush Racing. Wells back to P4 from second starting spot. 2 underfunded single car teams pull away. It's Matei Motorsports and Wood Brothers Racing first and second at Martinsville. Jericho still on the outside, now back outside the top 5. Back to 6th as he might have a shot to get down front. Seidel right there. Great corner exit for Jericho. He'll get down line in front of the 24. Those are right now 3rd and 4th in points, so they're definitely battling each other for every point they can try and garner. As here comes Conrad Evans, moved up nicely in points after his first ever Winston Cup Series win at Atlanta. Conrad Evans making his way through the field start outside the top 10, but now up inside the top 10, but now with a challenge from Colin Teague. And there's Brett Sierra, has 5 straight top 5 finishes going for this 25 team, and has to try and continue that. Obviously, he won 6 straight. He's currently up to 10th for the 25 and sees the battle for 8th in front of Colin Teague and Conrad Evans. Teague on the inside will grab 8th from Evans as the race turns 3 and 4. Back up to the front, Mills still leads off Boyd, and then you have Stapleton in 3rd, Wells in 4th, and Burnett in 5th. Chris Jericho is right now in 6th. Seidel is 7th, Teague to 8th, Evans to 9th, Sierra is 10th. Keyshawn Merchant back to 11th, but in line. Anthony Nez, a good day for DEI so far. As around goes Harrison Reed off the front of Jack Haas. It's a single car spin for the 40. Reed gets back going. No one hits him. The yellow flag will come out. Look at Higuita trying to get some spots, but the yellow is out early on in Martinsville. They'll race back around. It's Jose Mills with the lead in the 7. Jacob Boyd in 2nd. Nathan Stapleton in 3rd. The field will now come to a stop. They wait for the pace car here off turn number 2, and hopefully everyone gets through fine right there. But really a non-threatening spin for Harrison Reed right there off turn 2. Looked like he got contact from behind because of Jack Haas, and the 40 went around, but no contact made whatsoever. The field obviously too early to pit here, so they'll all stay out in the racetrack. Jose Mills still with the leads at every lap so far from pole position. But let's go see what happened. Yellow flag is out. Harrison Reed spun around on the backstretch off of the front bumper of Jack Haas. Through turns 1 and 2, you see Trey Bardo up the racetrack in the 3, get passed by Roger Ray. Harrison Reed also kind of sliding up the track in the 40 car. He'll try and keep it off Bardo, give Bardo room so the 3 doesn't get into the wall, and just slight contact. Haas, I think, misjudges, trying to get up behind the 40 car, slightly misjudges, and gets into Reed, spinning the 40 car around. Luckily for Harrison Reed, no one makes contact with him. He doesn't make contact with any sort of wall whatsoever. So for Harrison Reed, a simple spin. He does lose many positions in that 40 car. However, it could have been a lot worse for the driver of the 40. He could have been out of the race with some others if he got some contact. Another look at this through 1 and 2, and see Haas right there. He kind of turns to the right, trying to get behind the 40, and just barely misjudged and unfortunately spun Harrison Reed around. But as was mentioned, luckily for Reed, Kukulon slows down. No one runs into the 40 car. So that's the first yellow out here at Martinsville. We'll go back green with about over 10 laps completed here in the Goody's Body Paint 500. Green flag this time at Martinsville will be 12 laps complete. We'll restart lap number 13 here in the Goody's Body Paint 500. It's Jose Mills still leading. He's led every lap so far for pole. What a great run it's been so far for the Matei Motorsports driver. Watch for some bigger names towards the back of the field like Keegan Thompson. He'll line up in 23rd for the restart. Luke Rennie in 21st. Obviously, Thompson has gained some spots from his starting spot. Eli Bright's gained nicely up to 29th, and we'll see what they can do. At the front, though, it's Mills and Boyd, Stapleton and Wells and Burnett. Also, Jericho, Zidell, Teague, Evans, and Sierra. That's the front 10 as we're back to green at Martinsville. And a nice jump for Boyd and Stapleton. Stapleton looked underneath Jacob Boyd, but didn't have the guts to do it off to turn one, maybe too soon. Zidell, though, battle with Jericho. They'll battle, but Zidell in behind Jericho. Not now. To the inside he goes again. The yellow's already out. Nathan Baird got spun around in the battle for third, but Stapleton keeps third off Wells, but we get an early yellow. Looks like Nathan Baird got spun around in the 60 car, and Baird now to the back of the field in the 60. And it might have been a spin right off the restart. Let's go see what happened. Yellow flag out just again at Martinsville. This is an interesting one right here. No need to slow it down. Higuita just kind of in the gas hard, trying to get going, and right to Baird. They were running towards the back of the field. Luckily for Baird, once again, doesn't hit anything, but a yellow just after the first restart of the day here at Martinsville. The Goodies by paid 500, so leading this race still, it is Jose Mills in the 7th, looking to try and lead all the laps to win at Martinsville. Coming back green once again in Martinsville, so pretty much the same lineup as before. Jose Mills still leading off Jacob Boyd, Nathan Stapleton, Mathis Wilson, Matthew Burnett. Zidell actually gets to 6th by Chris Jericho on the restart, so now Zidell will be 6th, Jericho will be 7th. You have Sierra now to 9th off Evans, who's back to 10th. Hernandez up to 11th, Keyshawn Rich and Jordan Stout, some others trying to break their way through the field. Pace car back in, and how long can we go in this one? Restart lap 18, a good restart this time for Mills. Boyd might have spun the tires. Stapleton doesn't get going in 3rd. Wells in 4th also doesn't have the best jump, as the 20 car now fights with Matthew Burnett, but the front few able to get away as Colin Teague in the 8th position doesn't really get a good enough jump. Boyd a better run through 3 and 4 than Jose Mills, and closes right back up onto the back of the 7 once again. Mills still leads in the 7, Boyd still 2nd in the 21, Stapleton still 3rd, Wells still 4th, and now Burnett under fire in 5th place. That's Zidell knocking on the back door in the 24. Back through the field, they can see a battle right here. Mitchell Collins trying to fend off Jack Haas. A little bit further back, you have number 42, Caden Lynn, under fire from Laura Chung in the 23. Chung to the inside. That is right now a battle just outside the top 20. That's 24th and 25th. Chung will get to 24th by Caden Lynn. Jamie Stewart Jr. getting by the number 43, Zachary DeLello. Right by them, Eli Bright looks for 28th after starting outside the top 30. Car number 8 going pretty strong right now at Martinsville. Noah Clifton trying to make up some spots. Nathan Baird, Brandon Beal, the last 2 on track. Still a battle at the front. Jose Mills off Jacob Boyd. The 21 can't find a way around quite yet. And if we can stay green long enough, then we'll get to where lap traffic comes into play. That's where you can start, setting up passes and making passes work. Once the leader gets caught up in lap traffic, obviously everyone fighting to stay on the lead lap as best they can in case a yellow comes out. But obviously that hurts the race leader, and Jose Mills might not be able to find a way around some of the cars. Obviously, those drivers are used to racing Mills because he's normally back there with them, but now he's up at the front racing for the win in the lead. So Mills wants to get around those drivers as quickly as possible. Battle's still ongoing for 6th, and there's 2 championship rivals. Zidell and Jericho are both top 5, top 4 in points, and they're looking to try and outpoint each other so that maybe one of them could be the points leader at the end of the day. Right now, their nearest competitors in points, Bardo is currently only in 14th. Thompson's only been able to get up to 22nd by Luke Rainey. So Keegan Thompson hasn't had a great day. He's currently outside the top 20. Trey Bardo's barely inside the top 15. And for Jericho and Zidell, they're both inside the top 10. They obviously both started top 5, but they're still running pretty decently in 6th and 7th. But Jericho overshot turns 1 and 2 and had a mirror full of Colin Teague. But Teague stays in behind the 18 for now as they race off to turns 3 and 4. See Bardo right here. He's looking to make a pass. Looks like on the 88 of Jordan Stout, but so far no such pass was made on that 88 cars. Bardo stays in behind right now. That's about for 13th and 14th. Right behind them in 15th, it's number 33 of Lathan Strickland. It's doing Roger Ray right behind him in 16th. So for Andy Petrie Racing, not the best day, but it's been a solid day for both of them, and it could get them good points as some people in front of them in points are obviously not having the best of days. Jericho gaining back on Zidell as the front. I would say that's about 10 or so. We're in kind of a conveyor belt motion, all riding behind Jose Mills as they all look for a way to maybe get by this car number 7. You see from the grandstands high above how easy it is to see out at a track like Martinsville. Boyd overshot 1 right there. Stapleton have a shot for 2nd. Boyd, nice run off. Will be able to keep that spot for now. So Jacob Boyd able to keep 2nd off Nathan Stapleton. The nearest lap car, though, is going into turn 1. That's Nathan Baird. Jose Mills is about straight away from catching them. And the longer we stay green, the faster they're going to catch them as everyone gets all kind of stacked up. Off to look at this kind of conveyor belt motion, how fast it takes to get around a place like Martinsville. 0.526 miles in length. Not take long at all. You can see right there. Mills already back up and by. Jericho again peeking on Zidell. Burnett was peeking on Wells off turn 2 but didn't do anything with it. Still Wells able to keep that spot in 4th for now. Started 2nd and he knows he has some pace for the lead. Boyd, I think, got there. Oh, he couldn't get back on the gas good enough. Mills able to keep it for now, but Jacob Boyd is showing that that Wood Brothers racing car is faster than the Matei Motorsports Chevrolet, and this Ford wants the lead badly. Jacob Boyd hungry for a win right now in 2nd place. Nathan Stapleton in 3rd. In case the front two start to clash, he could try and pick up the scraps. Wells, Burnett round out the top 5. Zidell and Jericho 6th and 7th. Teague is 8th. Sierra looking for 8th as Sierra tries to keep that top 5 streak alive, and then you have Conrad Evans just inside the top 10. Right behind him, Anthony Hernandez and Keyshawn Richardson. Trey Bardo up to 13th by Jordan Stout, who's under fire from Roger Ray. Keegan Thompson got a spot from the number 14, Luca Iger. Move Thompson up to 21st, and just in front of him, the ticket to the top 20, Logan Williams and Riley Spurley-Tube. Eli Bright still stationary in 29th. Aaron right after getting spun is 30th in the 40. And Nathan Baird still last car on the track in 42nd. And just a few seconds from getting lapped by the number 7 of Jose Mills. Boyd again looking for a different lane to try and maybe get some air to the tires and the radiator. Trying to just cool that car down. There's Baird off turn 2 now. The leaders are entering turn 1, so they're not that far away. Watch as Baird enters turn 3. He's in 3 now. It's a straightaway still about Wells. Looking for 3rd on Stapleton, but can't do anything with that number 97 for now. It's still the 97 ahead of the 20. Burnett and Zidell. And now Jericho is a miracle of Colin Teague, who gains back in the 6th car. As Teague was under fire from Sierra, but pulled away from that 25, and now looking to get by the 18 of Chris Jericho. See Trey Bardo still stationary in 13th. He has 7 straight top 10s under his resume. DNF'd in the 500. That's his only finish outside the top 10 so far this season. So for Trey Bardo, he's had a good consecutive string going. 7 straight top 10s, but needs a few more positions. He's got by the 99, the 1, and then the 31, his teammate, to get his way back up inside the top 10 where he's finished the past few. Battle right here. Colin Teague is inside of Chris Jericho. Teague will move to 7th by Jericho. And can Jericho get down in behind Teague to then get in front of Sierra, or will the 18 fall back behind the 25 as well? Now you have Chris Jericho back to 8th. Can he hold on to that 8th spot off Sierra? It looks like he will down the backstretch. Sierra gets in behind the 18, but for Chris Jericho, that car might be fading on the longer run. It looks like for that 18, in race trim, they don't normally unload the fastest. They normally unload pretty slow. But after the pit stop, that 18 comes alive. We see it in the past few races. Atlanta, that definitely happened. We saw the 18 come alive at the end of the race. The first run was not so good. So maybe that could be happening here again at Martinsville. They seem to qualify pretty well in that 18, but it seems like that first half of the race just does not go their way. See, right now he's now under fire from Brett Sierra. That's 2 one-time winners so far this season, both of which could be fighting for the championship. Obviously, Sierra has a lot to gain in terms of the championship. He is up near 200 points behind Keegan Thompson, his teammate, but if Sierra starts to, if he keeps putting together these good runs and Thompson, finishes back where he is right now, Sierra would definitely gain a lot in terms of points. So for Brett Sierra, that bound for the championship now is out of mind, but another Roush car coming fast. Colin Teague looking on Zidell right now for 6th. I mean, these Roush cars look pretty sporty. Stapleton now 3rd. Burnett is 5th. Teague wants 6th. Keyshawn Richardson right now back in 12th. Kukulon is not having the best days. Did not qualify well for Kukulon. It's not racing well back in 34th. He's behind some slower cars like Ryan Wilson failed inspection, but has made his way up nicely in that 44 car, and right behind it, the number 17 of 2 more cars that failed inspection, the 77 Hagita and the 26 of Lawrence. Mills still doing a nice job out in front of Jacob Boyd, just controlling. Stapleton still in 3rd, just waiting. Wells in 4th, waiting. Burnett in 5th. But now Zaydell trying to start to get away in 6th place, trying to get away from Colin Teague. Conrad Evans trying to get away from Anthony Ness, but the one closing in as we're nearing the midway point in this race. It's been all Jose Mills in the 7 car. He got out in front off the start for a pole position, has not relinquished that lead since the start and the drop of the green flag. However, as lap traffic looms ahead for the driver of the 7 car, can he try and find a way around lap traffic in time? And how will the pit stop go? Obviously, this team not up to scuff with maybe Roush Racing, Joe Gibbs Racing, Wood Brothers Racing. Can their pit crew rise to the occasion, get them a good enough pit stop to keep the lead, or will a bigger team leapfrog the smaller teams in front on pit road? Can Roush Racing, Joe Gibbs Racing do anything? Hendrick Motorsports, can they do anything with their pit crews to try and get ahead of the underfunders like the 21 and the 7? Sierra peeking on Jericho again as Teague also was peeking on Justin Zaydell. But the 6 can't find a way around this 24. Still Bartle looking for 12th on Keyshawn Richardson. Jordan Stout has also done a pretty good job just kind of stabilizing. For Penske, it's not been a good weekend at all here at Martinsville. Both their cars did not qualify well. And for Mitchell Collins, he's right now the highest of the 2 Penske cars in the 16th position. His mate Luke Rennie back in 23rd, just behind Luca Iger and Keegan Thompson. So it's not been a good day for Penske at all. They're going to be worrying about coming back to Martinsville later in the season, I think, for sure. Hernandez had a slip up off turn 2, and Keyshawn Richardson got to the back bumper, bringing Trey Bartle as well with him in the 3 car. We're nearing the midpoint of the Goody Body Paint 500 at Martinsville. Colin Teague overcooks turns 1 and 2. Jericho with a look to the inside. Does he have the momentum off the corner, however, to keep that speed up? It looks like he does. Jericho for the spot, and now Wells under fire for 4th. That is Matthew Burnett looking to his inside. Jericho will get to the 7th position again, getting back by Colin Teague. Now Teague has a look from Brett Sierra. Richardson looks on Anthony Hernandez. That's right now the battle for 11th. Richardson to the inside of the 1 car. And Keyshawn Richardson to P11. Evans now for 9th on Sierra. Gets back in line. Richardson to P11. Can Bartle get to 12th right here? Three gets in line behind the 1 of Hernandez. So move Richardson to 11th. Hernandez back to 12th. Back up at the front. Still Mills occupying the lead. Still Boyd looking for a way around him. Halfway there. So Jose Mills has led half the lap. If he leads this next lap, he will have confirmed led the most laps in this race. It's been a great day for Matei Motorsports. I'm honestly shocked that the bigger teams haven't been able to find a way around. We've seen some passing further back in the field before the lead. Mills has been able to keep it. He's not put a foot wrong here today, like we've seen some teams further back in the pack. Some of that passing happening because drivers are messing up some corners. They, overcook into a corner. They go a little bit wider, and it gives the inside lane to someone else. Like right here, Zaydell, is he going to be phased from Chris Jericho? Doesn't look like it for now. Jericho right in behind the 24. The lead again tightening up. It's within 2/10. Boyd to the back of Mills, but can't find a way to get by him for now. Jericho again looking on Zaydell, trying to find around this 24. They're both battling for every point they can get. Jericho again pressuring Zaydell. Burnett again pressuring Wells. Can Burnett get the launch off the corner he needs? It doesn't look like it again. That time, we may give him a bump into 1. Matthew Burnett for the 4th position on Mathis Wells. They race door-to-door to turns 3 and 4. Roush Racing up to 3rd and 4th with Stapleton in 3rd. Burnett now to 4th. And Stapleton pressuring Boyd for 2nd. He's saying, if you're not going to go, I'm going to go. And Wells might lose a spot. That's 5th place. That's Zaydell to his inside. Wells a nice launch off the corner. Kid again behind the 16 in front of the 24. He's going to try for his teammate. Wells will be able to keep 5th, but pressure filled here at Martinsville. Mills within a few corners of catching Baird, but pit stops might happen first. And think about how nervous that 7 crew is going to be if they enter pit road with the race lead. How nervous is Mills' crew going to be on pit road? Evans moved back around Sierra to get to 9th. Sierra back to 10th, but Sierra wants 9th back on Evans. These two battled for the win at Atlanta last race. Now they're battling for 9th here at Martinsville. 9th and 10th, and look at right here. 2 drivers inside the top 5 in points. Jericho looking on Zaydell, gonna drive it to the inside in 3 and 4. And Sierra now looking on Colin Teague as Jericho moves to P6. Sierra looked on Teague, but couldn't do anything with it. Evans now has Keyshawn Richardson closer than ever before. Hernandez slides up through 1 and 2. It might give Trey Bardo 12th. Zidell under fire from Colin Teague as well. Bardo got a nice drive off turn 2, and I think this 12th position is his. He's been solid and consistent from 18th starting spot, up 6 spots for Trey Bardo in the 3 car. It's been a solid day for Richard Childress Racing so far. Stapleton under fire from teammate Matthew Burnett. Looks to have come alive the later this run has gone on. Keyshawn Richardson for 10th on Conrad Evans. They battle right here. Richardson to P10. Welcome to the top 10. That's 4 of the Roush cars inside the top 10. Now Evans might lose 11th to his teammate Bardo if he doesn't get in line. Stout by Hernandez moves Stout to 13th. Hernandez back to 14th. And under fire now from the 12 of Mitchell Collins. Evans down in front of teammate Trey Bardo. But Bardo fights again to the inside. And that time Bardo's going to have the spot. Stapleton got around to P2. Got by Boyd, but the 12 went to the outside. Now Roush can try and go and catch that number 7. Bardo to 11th by Evans. Boyd still on the outside as now Stapleton's teammate Burnett comes to the inside. And here comes Mathis Wells and Chris Jericho. They also want to fill the inside. Zidell on the outside as Colin Teague goes by in the 6th. Teague to 7th. Sierra for 8th on his teammate. Wells wants to get by Boyd right here as we're in the pit window. Pit stops looming. Boyd will get shuffled, might get shuffled outside the top 5. He can't get down in front of the 18. He might have a shot right there in front of Chris Jericho. Wells to P4. Jericho looks for 5th on Boyd. Colin Teague also looks for P5. He looked 3 wide to turn 1, but thought better of it. Boyd down in line in 5th. Slamming the door shut on an advance of Jericho. Now, 2 Roush cars trail the number 7 Matei Motorsports Chevrolet. That's got to be a little worrying if you're Jose Mills. That's a really big team. 2 cars right behind you. But once again, nearing the pit window. Who pits first? Who tries the undercut? It'd be fun to watch here at Martinsville. It's right there. You can see racing through 3 and 4 so far. No one making it to pit road. There you can see the back of the field. There's Mills, and there's the battle for 2nd. Stapleton, Rude out of the way. Here comes Burnett for P2. Burnett on his teammate, trying to take it away. We have some cars to pit road. It's Colin Teague. Brett Sierra, I think, as well. They'll undercut. 3 wide right here. Some others. Keyshawn Richardson to pit road. Zidell, who had fallen greatly. Sperlingtube and Strickland. Brando and Chung. Stanworth. Reed. Here comes Kukulon. When are the leaders in? Oh, big check up here. I can't tell what's happening, but there was a huge check of Mills. Got it away nicely right there, and Evans stays out. Hernandez stays out, so Conrad Evans will lead this race. However, there's a huge check up behind Mills that will help him here. That's going to help the people that undercut it here. I mean, if you were someone who came in early like Sierra, like Teague, you might get all those spots because of how big the checkup was. Teague's going to leave right in front of Mills. Sierra leaves in front of Colin Teague. Sierra beats the 6 off. Here comes Mills to pit road. There's Zidell. He's going to leave shortly. So you have Mills in, you have Wells in. The 31, the 1, having to make their stops. They're in this time. 4 tire changes on these drivers' cars. Zidell had to wait longer for maybe damage on the 24. When can Mills leave? There's cars to his outside. Burnett beats him off, but Sierra beats them all off. The 25 leads the race. Teague to 2nd. Burnett now 3rd. 4th is Stapleton, 5th as well. As in the pit stop for the Matei Motorsports team did not go well. Look at Anderson Reed getting spots. Jericho beats Boyd off. But the disastrous pit stop for Jose Mills' team puts him back in the back half of the top 10. Brett Sierra's going to be leading this race. There's Evans leaving. Sierra leads. The Goody's Body Paint 500 at Martinsville. But now he's in traffic. The guy in 2nd is Colin Teague. He has 2 seconds to make up off the 25. He has a few cars in between, but if Sierra stays side by side with Evan Hunter, that can only help the 6 car. Because the more they stay side by side, the more the 10 closes in, and once the 10 gets to the inside of the 25, Sierra will get caught behind the 10 car. So it was 2 seconds in the line. Last lap, he cut down 2/10, just like that. Sierra getting behind Evan Hunter, but Hunter's not getting off the corner well enough. Sierra's still on the outside. This is the bad thing about Martinsville. Lap traffic comes into play. Sierra, I mean, if I'm Sierra, I just lift down the straightaway and get him behind the 36. Right there, he's going to have to lift because of Noah Lawrence, but look how wide he goes. Walker Davis now by the 25. The gap down to a 2nd and 6/10. Burnett also closing in. It's a Roush, 2, 3, 4. As some new names are inside the top 10. Welcome Strickland to 7th. Rando to 8th. Collins to 9th. Sprinter to 10th. All in the undercut, doing well. Evans up to 5th with his overcut. As Sierra looks to get down from Mitch Corbett, the 6-6 fights to get back on the lead lap. Mills all the way back to 11th, right in front of Aronson Reed. But Teague is gaining on Sierra for the lead. Under 30 to go at Martinsville. Sierra leads the race, but under 5 for Colin Teague to turn 1. Teague's there. Sierra in line. Right now by Mitch Corbett. What can Teague do with the 25 now? Unluckily for Teague, the 25 got in line. Luckily for the 6, there's still traffic in front. Sierra up the track through 1 and 2 just a little bit, maybe half a lane. Corbett able to keep in front of the 25. The longer these front 3 can't get around lap traffic, the more likely Stapleton and Evans close in these final 26 laps. Burnett desperately trying to get around Nathan Baird to keep track with the front 2. Oh, Burnett messed up the track. That's trying to stay in front of Brandon Beals best he can. Sierra still fighting to get around Mitch Corbett and can't. Let's look at how this order has been shuffled due to pit stops. You have Sierra now leading with Teague in 2nd. We know that. Roush Racing doing really well. Mills now down to 11th after leading every single one of the first 60 or so laps from pole position. Mills now out of a shot to win, it looks like. Boyd now back down to 13th. As he's just got passed by Chris Jericho, moves to 13th. Boyd now down to 14th. Richardson down to 15th. Bardo is 16th. Thompson is 19th. The championship contenders are all faltering as 5th place in point 2 is a good ways away. Sierra leads this race. He might be within a race after this one of the points lead. Oh, he gets up behind Mitch Corbett. Sierra does and almost got into him. How about Aronson Reed? The recovery he's had after spinning out in the first yellow. Reed is now 12th. What a good pit strategy call it was for him. Stout down to 21st. Hernandez 23rd. Luke Rennie 22nd. 2 cars, 1 lap down. It's Nathan Baird and Brandon Beal. Baird is holding up Burnett, who is allowing Stapleton and Evans and Wells to catch up. Strickland right now in 7th. Rando is 8th. What a good run spin for him. Good recovery after Bill Davis Racing has not had the best cars here today. Collins is now 9th. Also a good day for a Penske car. And rounding out the top 10, Riley Sprinter. What a good run spin for him. Mills now 11th. Jericho up to 12th, getting by Aronson Reed. Here comes Jacob Boyd. Here comes Richardson and Bardo and Chung. Right behind Chung, you have obviously Jack Haas and then Keegan Thompson. How about Jamie Stewart Jr. inside the top 20th? Bardo looks like Keyshawn Richardson. We'll get back up in line. Boyd now by Aronson Reed as Jericho's next car on the list is Jose Mills in the 7. Wells on Evans. That's for the top 5. Wells to P5. Sierra's got by Mitch Corbett. That's what he needs. He needs cars between he and Colin Teague. Can't get by Evan Hunter, though. Has to get back in line. Hunter might give the inside to Sierra, though, right here, it looks like. Maybe trying to let the 25 go. Burnett finally moves away from Nathan Baird. Burnett can now try and battle the front 2. Stapleton by Brandon Beal because he sees Wells and Evans coming in his mirror. Can Sierra lead the rest of this race outright? 18 to go at the line. He has 2 lap cars and then I'll battle for 2nd. Burnett, I think, has the faster car than Colin Teague and is showing it. He wants to get by his teammate fast. He's saying, let me go. I can maybe catch this 25 car. Then one of us could win. But Sierra's done a nice job getting 2 lap cars in between he and 2nd place. Teague again wide. Burnett to his back bumper, but doesn't make contact. You don't want to hit your teammate out of the way. 17 laps to go at Martinsville for Brett Sierra. Looking for a 2nd win of the season. It would be a 6th straight top 5 finish. Talk about coming alive. Colin Teague still holding up Matthew Burnett. Stapleton held up behind Baird. Evans back by Wells. All this battling. Here comes Strickland and Rando. Top 8 are there. Top 9. There's the 10th place car. Still the battle for 11th. Mills ahead of Jericho. Mills trying to hold off whatever he can to get the best position he can. Thompson got by Haas, which got Stanworth up to 19th. So now Thompson 18th, just 2 cars behind Trey Bardo. Here we go for 11th. It's Jericho on Mills. Chris Jericho to P11, but a good ways to go to get to the top 10 straight away. I don't think it's going to happen with 15 to go. Wells back for 5th on Evans. These two are not giving in. Sierra by the 10 of Walker Davis. Now 3 lap cars. Wells to P5. Evans back to 6th. Strickland right behind in 7th. Brando and Collins and Spruill all there. Brando looks to get by Beal as quickly as possible. Stapleton still can't find a way around Nathan Baird. And Sierra now looking to get another lap car between he in 2nd place. It's Noah Clifton. He's looking to put a lap down. Right now Clifton running in the 37th position. We have 37 cars on the lead lap. And once Sierra gets by Clifton, I think his lap car woes would be done. So if he can get by Clifton, I think he can kind of walk home to victory. Talk about a day that has turned south. Zidell down to 31st after having repaired damage. He had quite a bit of damage on pit stops. They had to clear fenders, whatnot, put him down to 31st. Caden down to 32nd. Iger down to 33rd. Williams down to 34th. They were all running inside the top 20 or so. Not been the second half of the race they wanted. Kugelbaum up to 28th, Eli Bright up to 27th. Decent recoveries for them. Bardo's still 16th. Thompson is still stuck in 18th. And Sierra still has 3 lap cars. And now looking on Clifton. This time by 10 laps to go in Martinsville. He doesn't really have to get by Noah Clifton, but it would definitely be the best to get by Noah Clifton. Because while he still has 3 lap cars in between he and 2nd place, those lap cars could go in a hurry. And right here, you might have that spot under Clifton. No! But for sure, for Sierra, as long as he doesn't get put to the top side by a lap car, he's fine. He can just stay behind the 32 as long as I don't think Davis or Hunter are going to want to race that 25 car. So for now, Sierra is safe. But if he messes up behind Noah Clifton and goes up the track, Davis and Hunter might be obliged to take the inside. Here, Nathan Baird still have Nathan Stapleton. Strickland up to 6th by Conrad Evans. Beal, I think, balanced the inside Jay Brando. He got back by the 22. And Sierra still behind Noah Clifton, but with 8 to go, he can definitely just kind of stay there because he has over a second back to Colin Teague. Baird finally moves out of the way of Nathan Stapleton. Now 3 Roush cars can battle for 2nd. Wells in 5th for Joe Gibbs Racing. Strickland in 6th for Andy Peacher Racing. Evans in 7th for Richard Childress Racing. Collins to 8th for Penske. 9th place is Bill Davis. 10th place is Robert Yates. What a kind of just mix of teams we have at the front. The only repeat team inside the top 10, it's Roush. They have 3 cars up there, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Jericho is closing in, not only on the lead, but the battle for 10th. So with 6 to go, Jericho's within 2 seconds of 10th. Not saying it's going to happen, but he could try and get a top 10 here, especially with Randall falling back to him. There you can see Jericho. He's within now 2 seconds. Boyd also got clear. He's 12th. Mills back to 13th under fire from Aronson Reed. And Bardo now back to 17th. Just 1 car in front of Keegan Thompson. 4 to go. Excuse me, 5 to go. 4 to go at the line. Sierra, that's his worst nightmare. He has to stay ahead of Davis. He can't get put to the top side by him. If Sierra ever gets put to the top side, he could definitely fall back to that 6th car. But time is running out for the Roush cars. And the battle for 2nd. T goes up the track. Burnett to P2 with 4 to go. Now Stapleton might move low for 3rd right here on his teammate. Stapleton for P3. Bringing other cars into that battle as well, like Mathis, Wells, and Lathan Strickland. Can Strickland try and steal a top 5? Stapleton to 3rd. Teague now trying to keep 4th off Mathis Wells. 3 laps to go at Martinsville. Just a mile and a half remains. Not much time left. Teague down in line in 4th place behind his 2 teammates. Sierra has a nice gap. Over a second. Coming to 2 to go. Just 1 mile left. Brett Sierra in control of this race. He wasn't the one who dominated it. It was Polestar Jose Mills for Single Car Martin Motorsports who dominated the first part of this race. Then pit stops. Sierra an undercut. And the pit crew did their job. It got them the race lead, just like out in Riverside. He's held on off lap traffic, and now 1 lap to go at Martinsville for Brett Sierra, looking for his 2nd win of the season. It would be the 5th win in 9 races for Hendrick Motorsports. Strickland to 5th by Wells, down the backstretch for Brett Sierra. It won't be dominating. There'll be another win First Riverside, now Martinsville. Brett Sierra's a two-time NASCAR Winston Cup Series winner as he wins at Martinsville. What a drive it was for Brett Sierra. Pit crew did their job on pit road. It got Brett Sierra the lead, just like out in Riverside, and Sierra able to capitalize. Looked like it was going to be touch and go for a while there as lap traffic came into play. However, Sierra able to keep it out in front, and Brett Sierra wins off of the 3 Roush cars here at Martinsville. Hendrick Motorsports once again on top. Even though he was the only car for Hendrick to finish inside the top 15, it was still a victory for the Hendrick team. As we look at the finishing results, Brett Sierra obviously on top in the 25, and what a great points day it was for Brett Sierra. That points lead getting closer for the driver of the 25. Roush cars, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th with Burnett, Stapleton, and Colin Teague. And a top 5 for Andy Peach Racing and Lathan Strickland. Mathis Wells ends up in 6th. Mitchell Collins, a good recovery, up to 17th past Conrad Evans late in the race. Evans down to 8th. Spurtube 9th, and Rando 10th. Chris Jericho ends up in 11th. Jacob Boyd ran 2nd place for most of this race, but ends up in 12th. Jose Mills led the most laps in this race, but 13th for the driver who started on pole. Anderson Reed 14th, a good recovery after his spin. And Keyshawn Richardson ends up in 15th. Trey Bardo, 17th place for the 3, came in 2nd in points. Will gain just a slight bit of points on Keegan Thompson, who ends up getting passed by Jamie Stanworth Jr. at the end of the race. Stanworth 18th, Thompson 19th, and Jack Haas finishes out the top 20. Some bigger names down here like Jordan Stout 21st, Luke Brenny 22nd, Anthony Harris 23rd. How about Ryan Wilson? Failed inspection, started last. Wilson, 24th place. Not too bad for a man who's failed inspection here today at Martinsville. Eli Bright didn't have the best day after being fastest in practice. Obviously didn't have a good qualifying result, but decent day, 26th. You have Roger Ray down to 28th, Kukulan 29th. Hagita, good day. Once again, he failed inspection as well, 30th for him. Zaydel, not the day. He was looking for 31st, and that's going to definitely hurt him in points. He may actually fall below his teammate Sierra. Caden Lynn, 32nd. Iger, 33rd. Williams and Lawrence. Ruiz and Clifton all finished on the lead lap. 1 lap down for Davis, Hunter, Corbett, Baird, and Brandon Beal in the 94. Those cars finished 1 lap down off the pace here at Martinsville. What a crazy race it was, as we saw a mix of teams at the front, some smaller teams as well, trying to get up at the front at the end. But Jose Mills couldn't hold on along with Jacob Boyd, and they end up finishing outside the top 10. And it lets the bigger teams like Roush and Hendrick get through to claim the top 4 spots, with Hendrick's Brett Sierra winning this race, the Goody's Bipain 500 at Martinsville. Next week, it's another off week for these Winston Cup Series drivers. They get to enjoy that. However, the week after that, we're going racing at another technical racetrack. We're going racing at the 1 mile Dover Raceway in Dover, Delaware. Is the MBNA Platinum 400. That will be a fun one to watch for sure. Dover, another big staple on the NASCAR Winston Cup Series schedule. And we'll see how that race goes for these Winston Cup Series drivers. How the points look after this race. I mean, Brett Sierra going to gain a lot. Keegan Thompson, not so good. Zaydel, not so good. Jericho, a decent day. Bardo, not so good either. So Brett Sierra, in all likelihood, is going to be within a race of the points lead after this race at Martinsville. It might be top 4 in points now for Brett Sierra after the result of his teammate Justin Zaydel. So once again, congratulations to the 25 team and Brett Sierra on winning here at Martinsville. Join us in 2 weeks' time for the race at Dover. We'll see you guys then.